Right, welcome back. We're starting to wrap things up here on this Tuesday morning. Is it Tuesday or Wednesday? I'm not even sure anymore. It's Tuesday. We're wrapping things up, and we're actually going to end now with quite an interesting story. SAMRO's Overseas Scholarships. They're now open. Music students wanting to spread their music internationally. Now, this year's competition is looking to unearth some fresh, exciting Western art music or jazz instrumentalists with the potential to compete in the Global Premier League. Now, these scholarships are one of the country's most sought-after postgraduate music study awards, and the winner will be awarded the opportunity to enroll for career-furthering postgraduate studies at international institutions. And to tell us all about that is the SAMRO, the Southern African Music Rights Organization's CEO, Andre le Roux. Thank you very much for joining us and welcome to the program.
Thanks, Peter.
All right, so SAMRO is busy making sure that artists get paid what is due. What on earth are they doing with scholarships?
Well, we've been doing it for a little while. We've been doing it since 1962. Yeah, of course, I wasn't there.
Yeah.
So, you know, on the one hand, we collect royalties. As you know, you've got to fill in those funny forms.
Yeah.
And we collect the royalties, and we make sure that the money gets to the composers. On the other hand, we also have to make sure that the industry is healthy. And we started as a business in 1961, and 1962 gave our first scholarship. And the idea is to make sure that South Africans get the wings to be able to study abroad and further their careers. And ever since, we do it for composers, singers, and singers are doing fantastically well, instrumentalists, yeah, and keyboards. And this year, it's instrumentalists once again.
So have you been able to track perhaps and say, look, you know, these are our scholarship winners over the years, and this is the impact that they've had on the industry as a result of this opportunity?
Yes, not scientifically though, but our second overseas scholarship winner was Peter Klatzer in 1964. His candidates, his students started entering in the 1970s and the 1980s. Their students started entering in the 1990s. Wow. So you have about 3 or 4 generations of people that have studied. Yesterday we had the quite well-known jazz composer and performer Andre Peterson, who came to visit us and gave us his CD. And he won our competition about 8 years ago. And then 4 years later, and he competed against one of his students. Wow. And he beat his student in the final round, which was really cool for him. And 4 years later, the student Bokani Daya won the competition. Wow. So you see, what's starting to happen is that there's this trajectory. Not only do we do this overseas scholarships competition, but Abigail Bishokovitz, who's last year she was Standard Bank Young Artist. She won our competition for instrumentalist 4 years ago. We also do the SAMRO Hubert van der Spey competition, and she won that when she was about 13 years old. So there's a trajectory, there's a growth path. And she and JP Milan, who came first and second in our competition, came first and second when they were 13 years old at the Hubert van der Spey competition, the SAMRO Hubert van der Spey.
Okay. So the way it works, it's actually a competition for these scholarships. So you have, I suppose, playoffs.
Playoffs. You've been listening to too much sports. What really happens is that there are 3 rounds. The first round and the most important round is the one that ends now on the 16th of May. So if you know anyone that has got fantastic talent, as we have in the country, please tell them 16th of May is the closing date for them to enter online. And once they've entered online, what we do is in June sometime, we get the range of the top adjudicators in the country to listen to them anonymously. So they don't check out how beautiful they are, they check out how beautiful they play, every kind of instrument.
And how do they do this? Is this an audio clip that they...
It's an audio clip, and the audio clips, they send them in, they can attach them, and digitally we then get the adjudicators to listen. Not to look at their pictures. So they listen to the audio clips in June, and they decide from the listening round who the best is.
Right.
From the listening round, it then goes to August. And then on the 20th of August is the final round. The Wednesday just before that, all 12 semi-finalists perform in front of the adjudicators at the Linde Auditorium, and the 4 best are chosen. 2 in jazz and 2 in Western art.
Right.
And then on the 20th of August, they then compete in the finals, which is the equivalent of the derby for music in South Africa.
And is this an event that the public can go and watch?
Yes, the 20th, everyone's welcome to come and watch. Of course, there's limited seats available, but I think the taste for jazz and classical music in the country is growing. So if anybody's interested, they can contact us on our website for applications, or if they're interested in attending on the 20th.
What's the value of this scholarship?
About 200,000 rand.
Wow.
It's actually quite substantial. Last year we announced 200,000 rand. We had it at 160,000 for a couple of years. And as you're aware, our economy is not doing so great. I just came back from overseas and buying a cup of coffee in euro.
100,000 rand.
Doesn't go as far as it used to. But 200,000 is going quite nicely.
And in the intro, we spoke about postgraduate study. Does that mean that you need to have some kind of study behind you?
Yes, you do. You have to have studied at a South African tertiary institution. You need to have a degree or an equivalent. But nowadays, often with the jazz performers, not so much with the classical, with the jazz, they don't want to take a year out to go study. So then we say, okay, you can use the money to do a range of master classes. And in that way, we help them. They decide where they want to go, and we negotiate master classes in different parts of the world. I think Darren went for master classes in the US, and he studied in the US. Bokani has done some master classes, he's doing some more, so that they're not totally out of the music scene. With the classical ones, they often do want to study. And with the singers last year, Levi Segapane, who just performed with Pretty Yende, he's in Dresden in Germany. Andiso Makana, the runner-up, is in Cologne. Nombuso, I think, is also in Cologne. So many South African artists are not only studying, but performing abroad.
So the popularity of this, it's been running many years. How many entrants are you expecting?
In the singers year, we get the bulk of applications. We only get 12 that goes through. Usually, because here you're talking about the best of the best competing. Anything between 25 and 35 applications.
Wow.
But we're hoping that it's a bumper year and we get more, because I think our university music departments are also getting a bit stronger. And as I said, our artists, if one just browses social media, they are in demand. So not only the singers, but the instrumentalists as well. So we're hoping 25 to 35, and then 12 of the best go through.
All right, so just to wrap up, where can they go, which website, to get the competition details, to register and get going, and what categories this year?
This category is instrumentalists, so all instruments, from your bassoon through to every kind of orchestral instrument. In jazz, all the instruments you can think of, from drums, trumpets, all kinds of instruments right through. And they can visit us on www.samrofoundation.org.za. And the best part of it is that they can fill it in online and they can upload so that we can download online.
Fantastic. Well, we certainly look forward to seeing the new stars coming through and leaders perhaps leaving legacies behind through this scholarship. CEO at SAMRO, Andre le Roux, thank you so much, and good luck with the competition.
Okay, thank you, Peter.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, that's it, isn't it? This is where we say goodbye.